I hope you all are doing great. So very welcome guys. I hope you all are doing amazing. I welcome you all to another very interesting and informative session where I'm going to guide you around what should be the perfect strategy for GATE 2028 if you are a second year student. Because second year is that kind of a year where we have a very great amount of time to crack the GATE exam in the best possible manner. Okay, so before I do that, can I have a quick answer on the chat, like which year do you belong to, which year of engineering do you guys belong to, so that I can get a good sense about what kind of audience we are catering to. Okay, because here I'm going to share a step-by-step plan for a second year student. Okay, like how should a second year student go about it. So that's what I'm going to share over here. Are you guys super duper ready and excited for that? Are you all super duper ready and excited, dosto? Okay, awesome. So first of all, why start in 2026 like in second year? Okay, the very first obvious question could be, sir, why do we need to start this early? Why are you forcing us? Why are you suggesting us to start so early? Okay, so guys, 2 years equals to best time for strong preparation. Okay, and no one can tell you this better than me, because any guesses how much time I have taken to prepare for the GATE exam? Any guess? Any guess? How much time I would have taken? Around 6 to 7 months. Okay, I have taken around 6 to 7 months to prepare for the GATE exam. Okay, and within that preparation, I have secured all India rank 60. Okay, I have secured all India rank 60 in GATE in that much of preparation. So if I can do that in the very first attempt, why can't you? Why can't you guys crack GATE in such a best possible rank if you start so early, that is in second year, because you have very good amount of time, okay, to prepare for GATE. So no placement pressure yet, enough time for concept clarity, practice and multiple revisions. Okay, so guys, honestly speaking, I was a kind of a person who was equally interested in GATE exam as well as for placements. Okay, I tried my best to crack both the things simultaneously. Okay, placement as well as the GATE preparation. Okay, so what I would suggest you guys is the exact same thing, that you should prepare for the GATE exam as well as you should have a very strong focus on your placements. You should have a very strong focus on your placements and you should prepare well for the GATE exam as well. Okay, so you have enough time for concept clarity. Okay, we have enough time for concept clarity, dosto. So what is the meaning of concept clarity? Every exam, okay, every exam is based on some fundamental pillars, some fundamental concepts. Okay, and if we are not able to perform well, okay, if the concepts are not clear, then it would be very difficult for us to actually crack the exam. Okay, so it is very important for us to have a very good clarity about the concepts. The second point is practice. We need to do a lot of practice, because GATE is an exam which is completely dependent on your practice. The more you practice, the better you will become. Okay, so GATE is completely dependent on the practice. Okay, and as you know, there's a very old saying that practice makes the man perfect, or make the person perfect, right? So practice is the fundamental pillar. Okay, and the third and the most important thing, revision. So I have this rule that if you don't revise something properly, then it is as good as you have not studied it. If you have not revised something, it is as good as not studying it at all. Okay, so please make sure that you revise something as much as possible. Revision is the fundamental pillar. Okay, it is very, very important for us to have multiple revisions to make the concept 100% clear. Okay दोस्तों, चलो. So what is the perfect timeline for 2026 to 2028? Because we'll be preparing for a very large duration, right? So please have a look at this timeline, dosto. Please have a look at this timeline. Please have a look at this timeline. Okay, so foundation phase 2026, which is the second year, is the foundation phase. So we need to build concepts, clarity here. Okay, we need to start core subjects and we need to begin the previous year questions. Okay, these are the most important pillars. Okay, we need to build a very, very strong foundation, because this foundation will help us to get ahead. If the base is very strong, then the building will also be very strong. Okay, then you need to focus on the core subjects, which are the fundamental subjects for your specific branch, and then you need to begin the previous year questions, because previous year questions are the most frequently occurring types of question. Okay, like previous year questions are the ones which will give you a hint about what is the boundary in which you need to do the preparation. Okay, so please focus on the previous year questions a lot. Okay, then talking about the completion phase 2027, which is the third year. Okay, usually nowadays in third year you can also prepare for the GATE exam. Okay, so complete full syllabus, so that as if you are targeting to give GATE in the third year itself. Okay, so you need to have a complete full, you have to focus on completing the full syllabus. Okay, you need to have a very strong practice and previous year questions knowledge. Okay, that should be the focus here. Very, very strong practice plus previous year questions, and we need to start with the mock tests. It is very, very important for us to start with the mock tests. Okay, we need to start with the mock tests. So this is going to be the completion phase, and the third and the most important phase is the revision phase, which is the final year, because before the GATE exam we need to be very, very clear with our concepts. It should be very fresh in our mind, as if someone asks us, we are very ready to answer it. Okay, so preparation, most important step of the preparation, I would say, is the revision phase. Okay, so here you need to do full revision at least 2 to 3 times. At least, I'm saying at least. Imagine that. I have myself revised 3 times. And I would say at least 3 times revision is a must. How many of you agree with that? What are you planning? How many revisions are you guys planning? I would suggest at least, okay, at least 3 revisions you should target. Okay, then full length mock tests, appear for as many mock tests as possible, and accuracy first, please, plus speed improvement, because in GATE exam not just accuracy but speed is also equally important. Okay, chalo. Now step 1, foundation 2026 strategy. Okay, to start with easy plus scoring subjects. We all have a set of subjects, we all have some set of subjects which are more clear to us, which we are more comfortable with. Okay, so always you should start with that. because they will help you build the conviction. They will help you build the confidence that okay, I can crack this exam. Okay, so they will help you build the required confidence. Okay, make short notes. You need to make short notes, guys. Okay, make as many short notes as possible. Okay, because short notes will help you revise all the subjects with the most clarity. Okay, you need to focus on understanding, not memorization. You need to focus on the understanding. You need to focus on the understanding. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that you don't have to memorize anything, because memorization will help us in our college exams, but not in the GATE preparation. Okay, so please make sure that you focus on understanding. Okay, and solve basic plus previous year questions. Very important. Okay, I have already told you that. Chalo. Now subject priority starting order. So common high weighted subjects are engineering, mathematics and core basics, like branch specific. So I'm not saying anything like only for CS students or only for DA students. Okay, it is general idea that everyone should focus a lot on the engineering mathematics part. You should focus a lot. You should focus a lot on the engineering mathematics part as much as possible. Okay, engineering mathematics should be as much as possible clear to you all. Okay, and then your core basics, which are very branch specific. Okay, so whichever branch you are a student of, you will have certain concepts, you will have certain subjects. Okay, so that should be your focus on the core basics. Okay, chalo. Now step 2 is to solve previous year questions from day 1. How many of you really agree with me? How many of you really agree with me that you should focus on the previous year questions? Tell me. How many of you really agree with me that you should focus a lot on the previous year questions? Tell me. I need not tell you the importance of previous year questions, right? You all are smart enough to understand that how important previous year questions are for us. Okay, to solve topic wise previous year questions. So for example, if you have algorithms, then within algorithms, analysis of algorithm is one topic, sorting algorithms is one topic or chapter. Okay, so appear for topic wise tests, because it's very simple, guys. If the topics are clear, then automatically the subject would be clear, and if the subject is clear, automatically the GATE rank would be there. So there is no rocket science here. There is no rocket science at all. Everything is very sensible. Okay, you just have to plan it step by step. Okay, so you need to solve the topic wise previous year questions as much as possible. Okay, now repeat important questions. Whatever questions you find ki yaar, this is something which I should focus on. Okay, take a note of that, write, maintain a notebook and write down every point over there. Okay, so that should be your focus, that whatever you have, whatever important questions you have, you need to focus on that. Okay, then analyze the pattern. You need to make sure that if you see any pattern, that these types of questions get very frequently asked. Okay, whatever pattern you observe, you need to focus on that, because once you understand what is being asked again and again, okay, you can utilize that knowledge to kind of predict the GATE paper. And do you agree that sometimes we also do that? Like last year, I gave you 4 topics of algorithm, and from all those 4 topics, the questions came in the actual GATE exam. Now many students said, sir, you have leaked the paper, how could you know that, right? But honestly, guys, it is from my own experience that I know that what can be asked, what cannot be asked, like that. Okay, so I have that experience that I can guess what can be asked, what cannot be asked. Okay, So after some time, you can also have that intuition. You can also build that intuition within yourself. Okay, so that is one important thing. And previous year questions equals to 60 to 70% of the exam similarity. I'm telling you, the most amazing set of questions that you should be targeting on should be the previous year questions. Previous year questions are the most important set of questions that will define your GATE preparation. Okay. Chalo. Now, daily study plan for year 2026. On weekdays, you should have 2 to 3 hours of study. 2 to 3 hours minimum. On weekdays. Okay. On weekdays, 2 to 3 hours minimum. Now, it's up to you whether you are a early bird or a late night person, night out, whatever you are. Depending on whichever category you belong to, take out 2 to 3 hours. Okay. If you are a college student, okay, then I am assuming that 5 p.m. is the time you can get free. So maybe you can choose a time between 5 to 10 p.m. Okay. Or if you are a job person, okay, if you are a job person, then you can target your preparation, okay, between 7 to 11 p.m. like after office hours. Okay, you can plan your preparation after the office hours. So whatever category you belong to, okay, you can plan it accordingly. Whatever category you belong to, you can plan it accordingly, dosto. Is that clear? Whatever category you belong to, you can plan it as per it. Okay, so minimum 2 to 3 hours you have to put in on a weekday. But now weekends are going to be super utilization. We need to utilize the weekends as much as possible. As much as possible, guys. Okay, like consider this as a gift you have been given. Okay, some bonus you have been given. Why? Weekends are not that different for a college student. Okay, like weekends are not that good, but weekends can be very, very useful for the job person because they are having the entire day off. They have no responsibility from the office. Okay, so now you can have a marathon. Okay, what would be marathon like? Like you can start at 7 a.m. and you can go on till 10 p.m. Okay, and wherever you get time, how much you get time, you can skip the meal break. You can take out time for meals. You can take out time for some nap. But apart from that, you can be very much focused and you can target for this entire duration. So do we have any job person here among us? Is there any job person among us? If you are there, utilize your weekends. I'm telling you, you will not regret. Weekends are the most important part of your GATE preparation if you are a job person. Trust me, later on you would struggle. You will struggle to find a day off. Okay, so this is the best you should do. This is the best you can have. Utilize it as much as possible. Okay. Now, what is a weekly plan? Okay. So see, what you can do is you can break down your GATE preparation into years. Let's say you have 2 years. Okay. Each year you can break down into months. So you will have 1 to 12 months. And each month you can break down into weeks. Okay. So every month will have 4 weeks. And each week you will break down into days. So say there will be 7 days. Clear है दोस्तों? So this is the plan. I call it divide and conquer. So it's a very famous algorithm design strategy. It's called divide and conquer. What is divide and conquer here? Okay. If you really utilize each of your day, if you really utilize each of the days, automatically the weeks, you will automatically win over the weeks. Because if you have utilized each day, automatically the weeks you will utilize well. Correct? 1 week you will cover a lot of things. And when you utilize your weeks, automatically you will win over your months. Like in 1 month, there will be a very good level of preparation done from your end. And once you have utilized the months, you can utilize the years. And this is how a successful preparation looks like. So what do you think? Does everyone does it like randomly? Like today I wish I can study this subject. Tomorrow I also want to study that same subject. No. No one does like that. Everything has a very good plan. Everyone has a very well defined strategy. They are very clear about how they will win the month, how will they win the year. Okay, and they plan everything as per it. Is that clear, dosto? Everything is very well planned. No one does anything randomly. Okay, so this is the strategy. So this is what divide and conquer looks like. So you should have a very well defined weekly plan. One subject or topic per week. And that's a very good strategy. You have to 100% focus. You have to 100% focus on something. You have to very 100% focus onto something, and you need to skip or ignore everything else. Okay? Because you will, when you will study one subject, you will feel like I should study another subject. When you will study that another subject, you will feel like studying third subject. But you need to stick to the plan. If you don't stick to the plan, trust me, you will keep hopping. Your brain will keep running away. You will keep hopping, the brain will keep running away. Okay, so please don't do that. Okay, so one subject or topic per week is not a good idea. Okay, so 1 day revision is a must. 1 day revision is a must. Okay, like among your week 7 days, keep 1 day for revision, and I would suggest you keep weekend, especially Sunday. Sunday you can revise and give test. Okay, because Sunday we have that feeling that we have a very long day, we have a very good amount of time. Okay, so that could be your Sunday. Okay, and then 1 day you can have a focus on previous year questions, and obviously a mini test. Okay, you can appear for a very mini test. Okay, so that will help you for the weekly plan. Clear, my dear dosto? So keep 1 day for previous year questions and mini test. Okay, so this will give you a lot of confidence. Okay, now step 3, mock test. And you need to start this in 2027, like the next year, because we are having a 2-year plan. We are having 2 years to focus on our preparation. Okay, so in step 3, you need to appear for as many mock tests as possible. Okay, now how many of you really agree that mock tests are necessary? Like, take example of cricket. What do you think? Do cricketers directly go on the playground without any practice? What do you think? Do they just randomly go on the playground? No, they don't do that. They have everything very well planned. Okay, they first take the nets practice. They prepare themselves. They prepare that mindset. Okay, they get into that zone, and then they actually go for a match. Okay, first they train themselves. First they give themselves as much net practice as possible. Okay, so this will start in 2027. So what are the topic wise? You need to be done with the topic wise tests, you need to be done with the sectional tests and you need to focus on the full length test. But the importance is that you should go from this to this and from this to this. This should be the first, second, and then third. We need to go in sequence. We need to go in sequence, guys. First, we need to gain confidence over topic, then over subject, and then over full length test. Okay, this is called subject wise test. Subject or sectional tests. Okay, so this should be our focus. So always analyze the mistakes. Whatever mistakes you have done, whatever mistakes you have done, dosto, analyze it, work over it. Be very clear why it happened, how it happened, how can you reduce down those mistakes. Okay, so be very clear with that. Okay, analyze all the mistakes. And step 4 is to notes and is to have very clear notes and revision. Okay, so short notes, formula based, because as I told you, ultimately you will have to revise the entire subject in 2 to 3 days, and even in 2 to 3 hours when you are just 1 day away from the GATE exam. Okay, so short notes should be prepared in such a way, your short notes should be prepared in such a way that just by going through those notes you are done with the entire subject. Is that clear? Our short notes should be such a way that just by going through those notes we are done with the subject. We don't have to do anything else, okay, for the plan. Okay, so short notes should be very formula based. Okay, then revise weekly and monthly. Weekly and monthly revisions are necessary. Okay, so in fact you should introduce daily revisions as well. Okay, like you can block 2 hours 3 hours from your preparation to do revision. Like in my case, I used to spend around 2 hours a day for revision. Whatever I have studied in the last day, over the last day, I used to revise it today, because that way there will be not any longer gap. There will be no any longer gap in your preparation. Okay, so that's why you should always have good amount of revision. And final year should be the fast revision. Final year should be all about very fast revision, dosto. Very fast revision. Okay, yeah, like you need to revise as much as possible. Focus on revision. Okay, that is the most important part. Okay, chali. Okay, now mistakes to avoid. What are the different mistakes we need to avoid, dosto? Okay, and how many of you can relate with these mistakes? Trust me, we might have made mistakes. I have also made these mistakes. Like I made the very first mistakes, which is starting late. I started in the month of, I guess, June or July in my time. In GATE 2029, 2019, I appeared in computer science branch, and I started my preparation in July 2018, I guess. Okay, so don't do that mistake. Starting late is a very big mistake. And obviously, if you are attending this lecture, you are very early. You are not belonging to that mistake. Okay, you don't belong to that mistake. So please start as early as possible. Okay, skipping previous year questions. Now this is a very big mistake. You should not skip any previous year questions. Okay, no revision. When we don't revise, it's a mistake. Okay, too many resources. Studying something from here, then studying something else from otherwhere else. Okay, like hopping among the concepts, hopping among the subjects, from here this, from there this. Okay, so you need to avoid this. Too many resources will create a lot of confusion unnecessarily. It will be of no use. You will unnecessarily be worried. Okay, so don't focus on too many resources and ignore the weak subjects is another very mistake. So there is a saying that you should focus more. You should focus more on the subjects which you are not good at. Are you getting it? Your focus should be more on those subjects which you are not good at. So that is a very reverse psychology. We keep studying what we know, but you should focus more on what you don't know. That's how you will gain more marks. Okay, and the final thing for the mindset for the 2-year journey, because guys, I keep saying this, GATE is not just an aptitude test, it's your attitude test. GATE is testing your attitude, like your mindset is getting tested. Are you really made for GATE or not is going to be tested here. Okay, so consistency is the key. We need to be as consistent as possible. It should not be like we are studying for a day and then we vanish. That is not the right strategy. We should be as consistent as possible. Consistency is the key. Okay, daily you need to put in small efforts. Focus on progress, not perfection. See guys, perfection is like an excuse we give for the lack of action. I know lots of geniuses like Steve Jobs, you can take example, he was a perfectionist, but very few people can own the perfectionism. Very few people are like that. Majority of the people are just making excuse. Perfection is just an excuse for them. So please don't belong to this category. Okay, we are not the kind of people, we should not make excuses. Okay, so we don't have to belong to this category. Avoid burnout. Okay, like this is opposite of being consistent. It's like skipping the gym entire week and going gym for 10 hours a day, like that. Okay, so you need to avoid burnout, and discipline is more important than motivation. There's a very huge study that discipline is actually way much more stronger than motivation. Motivation doesn't last longer, but discipline takes you a long way. Okay, so discipline should be focused on more than motivation. Okay, so that's all about it, guys. Okay, please join the Telegram community. Okay, here is the official GATE Wallah Telegram community. You can join it for free, and here you have the electrical engineering branch Telegram community. You can join it for free as well. Okay, and here is the Telegram communities for the respective branches. So if you belong to the civil engineering, you can join this for free. Chemical, CS&IT, mechanical, and electronics or electrical. Whichever category you belong to, whichever branch you belong to, you can join the respective Telegram communities. Okay, for real-time update, you can join the GATE Wallah official Telegram community, and you can also join the GATE Wallah English Telegram community for some more important updates. Okay, so yeah guys, all this is completely for free. You can join and make the maximum benefit out of it. So once again, I would like to tell you that please put in lots of efforts, because you guys are very lucky that you are starting early. Okay, I really hope that I have answered most of your queries. Thank you so much. Please let us know in the comments what actions are you going to take. All the best and take care, dosto.